Hello guys, welcome back. And guess what? It's time for you to create your first proper design as we dive into your first creation using Adobe Spark. Now, I'm going to show you how this works, but I want you to really go and experiment. This is so much fun. And I'm going to separate it into two sessions. You have this 1.6, where we're going to be looking at creating little visuals and even using a brand in order to create posters and business cards and all these sort of things. And then later in this journey in session 1.12, we'll be looking at creating a web story. So let's just first see what Adobe has to say about Adobe Spark. So in order for you to go to this page, you would use spark.adobe.com. Now, I did explain to you earlier how to get an Adobe ID. If you still haven't done it, go to Adobe's site and you have to register for an Adobe ID. Okay, so if I were to log out here of my account, you'll notice on the Adobe site, just go and sign up for your Adobe ID. It's completely free. You're not going to pay for it. You sign up for it and you'll be able to use Spark for free. Now, spark.adobe.com is the site you want to go to. And let's quickly look at the video where they explain to you just how phenomenal Spark is.
All of us are juggling multiple roles. Just finding the time to create compelling images that get the word out quickly is tough.
You want to be able to have a far reach and you want to have people know about you, but you don't really have thousands of dollars to spend.
My students this year are amazing. I am always looking for new ways for them to be able to demonstrate their knowledge.
Adobe Spark has allowed us to make our stories come to life.
The first time I used Page, I was able to figure out how many amazing things I could use it for.
Nice, like really vibrant white with navy.
It keeps my students completely engaged.
I thought it was going to be really hard, but it's surprising how easy it is. And in the play, I was a hyena.
I think that once people know about us and feel connected to our story, there's no way that they wouldn't support us. Using these tools really allows me to support my business and my mission.
The food is already amazing. The culture is already amazing. We're just telling the story.
So, are you ready? Let's get going. So firstly, when you get to this page, log in with your Adobe ID. I'm going to use mine over here. And if you don't have an Adobe ID, you can still continue with Facebook and so on, but I would advise you get that Adobe ID. We're going to use it throughout this journey. You want that ID. Okay, I'm going to use my ID here. And I'm going to use my main account because I already have some elements on there, and I'm going to sign in. Now, the files that I'll use in this example is under your example files. Remember your example folders. Now, it's either under this video or otherwise you'll find it in the example files that you downloaded when you started your journey, and it's under 1.6, diving into your first creation. We're going to use these images of Cape Town, continuing in our case study as we explained. And we have the Cape Town Tourism logo there, and we have some images to work with. So when you get to Spark, Spark would ask you what is it that you would like to create first. And this little plus button says, do you want to create a post? Do you want to create a page, or do you want to create a video? Now the page and the video I'll show to you in session 1.12 later on. Today, we're only going to use this post and look at what we can actually create with post. So I'm going to click on post, and it's going to ask me, do I want to start from scratch, or do I want to use one of these presets? Now there's some beautiful things here, and as you can see, it sort of tells you what it's going to create. Do you want to create a Pinterest image? Do you want to create an Instagram image? Do you want to create a Facebook image or maybe a poster? It just goes on, and you'll see you can browse through all of these different styles until you find something that you like. Now let's say, for instance, this letter size. I'm going to choose this and we're going to use that as a template to what we want to design. It's going to load, it's going to open up, and there you go. Immediately you have this template and you can start customizing this. So let's say again, we're inviting our friends because we want to convince them to go on a holiday in Cape Town. So we're going to start out here with the text, and as you click on the text, you'll see you can change the text. So let's do Cape Town. Done. And it changes the text to whatever you inserted. You can double click, you can change it again. I'm going to write Cape Town out, rather it might look better in my design. And there you go. Now you can control it further if you look on the right hand side here with all of these panels. So we can click on color and we can change our color there, and we can go back and say done. We can even choose more colors. If we don't like the font, we can choose a different font in there and click done. You can change the spacing of the text. You can change the alignment, left align, right align, or this nice sort of justified idea. You can change the opacity, which is how transparent the element is, and you can even change the shape that it's in. Right, now next you'll see that each of these elements on whatever you've clicked on is changeable. So maybe over here we'd like to say summer holidays 2018. And there you go, it changes it over there. And again, all these options are available. You can change it to blue. You can change it to any other color that you can find down here. Very nice. Over here, we might want to change the text again and say, let's all go to Cape Town for the best holiday ever. And done. And it brings it into that little box. And now we might decide, well, we want to change these images, obviously, to Cape Town images. So I can either replace it from here and use my Creative Cloud folder, which we will explain later in the journey how to use that, or I can upload photos. Now, if you upload it, you would go to that little folder that I gave you, and diving into your first creation, and let's load some nice images into those blocks. Now it's going to take a while to upload these. They're slightly bigger than normal images. And I'm going to upload another one over here. And let's take a nice aerial shot of Cape Town over there. And we're going to choose the last one over here. You'll see that actually these photos have nice filters on them as well. Which is kind of part of what their design idea was. Let's put that one at the bottom. And that way you just go ahead and design literally any style that you want for your little ad. It doesn't look like it took that one last photo. Let's try something else. Let's take this one. And there you go. Nice. Now, as I click on these images, you'll see there's some nice photo filter effects that you can do to any of these images to change how they look. All right. So you can get your own sort of style going here. You might decide now that seeing as there's a lot of blues here, maybe we go back and we change the main colors to blue. It would look a lot nicer. And blue over there, or darker blue. And there you go. So within seconds, we've created something that we can actually use. We can print this out, we can use it in Facebook, we can use it in Pinterest, or whichever program you want. Now, if I were to go over here to share, I can immediately tell it what kind of a document this is, and I can share it to my social networks. So I can title this, Let's Do Cape Town. I can pick a category, and in this case, it will be travel. And I can create a link. Now that link can be used anywhere, maybe whether it be in an email, or maybe you want to link to it, or whether you want to use it in Facebook or Twitter, and you can share directly from here. But even more interestingly, you can download that image. And that's what I want you guys to do. I want you to download your creation. I want you after this session, go and create 3 things and then upload them for us. You know where to go and publish your work on our site, and we want to see what you came up with. I want you to go and create something where you tell us where you're from, what your city looks like, your neighborhood, your family, whatever you want to do. Show us. Now, once you download it, obviously it will go under your downloads folder, and there's the file that it created. Look at that. Wow, your first creation. All right. Now, I want to go back in here and just go back to Spark. I'm just going back to the main page. I'm going to go spark.adobe.com, and let me show you something very, very interesting. In Spark, they gave you an additional feature. Now, let's say you're starting a brand, you're starting a restaurant, or you're starting a travel agency, or you're starting whatever it is. Maybe it's just your freelance business. You can actually add a brand inside of Spark, and it gives you a lot of design options ready for you to go. And this is priceless. Now, as you progress through your journey, you'll see some amazing stuff that you can do. And we're going to show you how to do business cards. And you're going to create your own logo. And you're going to create a lot of professional work and posters and brochures and digital brochures. But for now, you can really get going by just using this feature. So if you look up here in Spark under Add Brand, if we were to click on Add Brand, we can select a logo. Maybe it's a logo that another designer already did for you, or maybe it's one later after your Illustrator session that you want to come and sort of try over here. So if I were to go to Upload Logo, inside of your diving into your first creation, if you don't have a logo, just use ours, the Cape Town Tourism logo. I'm going to open it, and there you go. The logo drops in at the top there. And I can even, just for the sake of this exercise, I could, let's stick to that logo. Now, on the second box over here, I can choose a color. Now, can you see it's already picked up the 2 colors from that logo that I've imported. And I'm going to say, I want all my material to have this blue. Good. And then pick a font. I can choose a nice font to go with all my material for my brand. And if I click next, I'm going to call this Cape Town Tourism. And let's click Make Brand Magic. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A little bit longer. 5, 4, 3, 2.5, 2, 1.5, 1. We're almost there. What it's doing is creating templates and posters and business card ideas and literally anything for you to get you started on your journey. And this is just so much fun to work with in the end, because they just give you so many options and it's ready for you to immediately start working with. Let's give it a couple more seconds. And there you go. Magic. Look at all that. So I've got here my Pinterest ad. I've got a little visual for YouTube. I've got a coupon. Maybe you want to print coupons. I've got a grand opening here. And if I scroll over, you will see some more elements. And there you go. Look at that. All these elements ready for you. A Pinterest ad, a business card, a quote. Let's see more. If we click up here on See All, look at all these elements that's been designed for you. Now, you might not use all of them, but can you see the font we chose and the photos? They used as presets, but we can replace all of that. Because remember, you can click into any of these. But look how many cool things you have immediately. You have a business card. You have a poster. You have a slide cover, a Twitter post, and it just goes on and on. Let's say, for instance, if we were to move down here to grand opening, or maybe to a Pinterest pin, I can click on that, and it opens that preset look together with my brand, and I can replace the other elements. Maybe I want to replace the images this time. Now you'll see this logo came in a little bit small, because there was a lot of white space around it, but we can make it bigger and pull it big over there. And now we can bring in our images again, and we can replace the images in here with the images that I gave you inside that folder. And maybe we bring in some nice shots of Cape Town again. And another one. And actually those two I can leave because they look quite nice in this design. Again, you can share it straight out to your social networks, or more importantly, you can download it. And I want you guys to really get into the habit of keeping what you're going to make, especially throughout this journey. If I'm giving you exercises, I want you to keep that so that you can upload it to your Behance account, so that you have something to show. Because most importantly, if you start working with clients, they would want to see what you've done and how good you are. So under your share button, remember that download link. Keep everything in one folder so that you can eventually make it part of your portfolio. All right, so that's Spark for you in a nutshell. You can just keep going, go and experiment here. Go and do some incredible stuff and upload it to our site. We really want to see who you are, who's your family, where you're from. Go and be creative. Okay, we'll see you again soon. Thank you.